Ja, Max Schmitz, der neue Headcoach der Bonn Capitals. Ziemlich lange Vorbereitung. Jetzt geht's endlich los.
Ja, wir sind extrem froh, dass die Saison jetzt am Wochenende endlich gegen Dortmund startet. Das ist wirklich die längste Vorbereitung der Vereinsgeschichte, die wir durchlaufen haben. Sind seit über 2 Monaten spielfertig und sind auf dem Spielfeld und machen Vorbereitungsspiele. Und wie gesagt, wir können es kaum erwarten, dass die Spiele jetzt endlich zählen.
Sind alle fit, alle im Plan sozusagen?
Alle 25 sind fit und können es kaum erwarten. Also wir sind in den letzten 4 Jahren knapp dran gescheitert, beziehungsweise haben es sogar einmal geschafft, aber 4-mal vorher ganz gut herausgefunden haben, woran das liegt. Und wir wollen natürlich an unseren Schwächen arbeiten und dementsprechend dann halt ready für Playoffs sein und dann eben.
Welcome to Bonn for Game 2 in today's doubleheader between the Bonn Capitals, the home team, and the Dortmund Wanderers. And game number 1 ended after 6 innings, 18-3, a home run by newcomer to the Capitals, Terrell Joyce, ended that affair. First pitch on the way, starting pitcher Sascha Koch to Luis Martin. And he takes ball 1. Playing third base for the Wanderers today. Second pitch from Koch. Low on ball 2. Sascha Koch last season, 6-0. And I have hardly any time to say anything about him because he is working quickly. That ball fouled off behind first base. Everyone's safe. Count now 2-1 to Luis Martin. That one fouled away as the fastball pitcher. Koch and Martin not getting in front of those balls any yet. 2-2 count. Curveball, strike 3. Swing and a miss. And Sascha Koch off to a good start. As I said, last season pitched 6-0. 6 wins, no losses in that 13-1 shortened season last year. And stepping to the plate is first baseman Giovanni Benetti, right-handed hitter. It takes strike 1. He scored 1 of the 3 runs in game 1 for Dortmund. And he swings through that one, misses an outside slider from the looks of it. The count already 0-2 as the first baseman falls behind in the count. Sascha Koch gets the sign. 0-2 pitch, strike 3, and has sent down 2 men swinging in the first 2 outs of this game. If you were around for the first one, you would have heard that the weather is marvelous, absolutely marvelous in this first doubleheader, first games of the season for the Capitals. Dortmund's already played 3 games now, including that first one this afternoon, have yet to win. And stepping to the plate is the third baseman, Vicente Velazquez, who fouls one. Careful over there in the second diamond. That one, wasn't expecting that. But everybody's safe. And the batter already behind in the count, 0-1. Sascha Koch gets the sign from Vinny Allens and takes ball 1. And last game, Velazquez also one of the 3 runs plated. And that curveball is lined into the right center field gap, and Velazquez turns and a long turn before he puts on the brakes and retreats back to first base with the first hit of the game after 2 strikeouts. And that single by Vicente Velazquez and his brother are going to be coming up to the plate. He's playing right field in this game after having caught the first contest. Victor Velazquez, he went 2 for 3 in the first game with a walk also, or 2 for 2, I should say, with a walk, and he's also swings and misses. So the heat is on, you could quite literally say, for Sasha Koch, who's throwing some hard stuff. Runner on first with a average lead. And that pitch slightly high for ball 1. 1-1 to count to Victor Velazquez. His brother Vicente on first base. Or Vicente, I should say, as a Spaniard. And strike. As that one caught the outside edge of the plate, I think we could liberally say. Count now goes to 1-2. Victor Velazquez fouls that one straight back. Our count remains 1-2 with 2 outs. Runner on first base. Sasha Koch already has tallied up 2 strikeouts before giving up a single. 1-2 pitch comes. That one's low and in the dirt. Evens the count, 2-2. As Victor Velazquez stays in the batter's box. And runner goes, and strike 3. No need to throw down to second base. And after the first half inning of play here in Bonn, Capitals TV score is 0-0. We're back in Bonn as we head into the bottom of the first inning with the Capitals. Leading off will be Eric Blank, followed by Wilson Lee and Vinny Arlens in the number 3 slot. Eric Blank, shortstop. Pitching today for the Dortmund Wanderers is Ricardo Gonzalez. I have no direct stats on him at the moment, but he is a left-hander, number 24. And in the warm-ups, looks like he is a fastball pitcher. See how Eric Blank does. Eric Blank in the first game was 2 for 5 with a triple in that 18-3 affair. He steps into the box. First pitch comes, and Gonzalez gets fall back and almost catches the ball as it bounces off the fence. And umpire says, hey, let's get a different ball here after that. Behind the plate calling the balls and strikes is Kevin Muzic. Gonzalez gets a new ball from Ivan Alba, the catcher in this game number 2. Count already 0-1 to Eric Blank. Leadoff hitter for the Capitals takes strike 2. Oh, Blank in a hole. Quite possibly, as according to my info, would be seen Gonzalez for the first time. And that ball, he squibs that one just over the second baseman's head. And gets a single on first base, Eric Blank. Third hit on the day so far. And that brings up DH Wilson Lee, who had a home run in game number 1. Eric Blank we'll see if Max Schmitz, the new coach, plays aggressive small ball here, sends Blank, but first pitch is in for a strike to Wilson Lee. Gonzalez gets the sign, looks over first, and a line drive ends up to be a double play, 6-3. Eric Blank was running too aggressively on that pitch, and Wilson Lee's line drive caught by the shortstop, who quickly throws to first base to double up Eric Blank, and we got 2 outs all of a sudden. On that 6-3 line drive double play. And that brings up Vinny Arlens, who takes ball 1. That one's gets past the catcher. And on deck for the Capitals is their newcomer Terrell Joyce, and Vinny Arlens couldn't hold up there, and he gets a strike against him. 1-1 now the count, 2 outs. As both of these pitchers, quick workers, fast pace, and that's a pop up into right field, sky high, and right fielder cannot catch it, who was playing shading very far into center field. So although a very high fly ball hit by Vinny Arlens, the right fielder, that is Vicente Velazquez, unable to run it down as he slid, but got just in fair territory. And that double with 2 outs gives a chance for cleanup hitter Terrell Joyce to do some damage. He was 3 for 4. He hit that game-winning or game-ending home run in the first game of this doubleheader, and that one's inside for ball 1 to Terrell Joyce. So he celebrated his 29th birthday yesterday. Takes that second pitch and grounded foul to third baseman. A nice play by the third base coach there. Looks Max. Sure-handed still. That evens the count 1-1. Runner on second base with 2 outs. And that pitch, swing and a miss. And Ricardo Gonzalez ahead now, 1-2. Terrell Joyce will have to protect the plate some. Particularly that outside corner gets favorable calls against the right-hander. Oh, and he smokes a line drive down the left field line, off the fence, and that's going to score the first run of this game. And a stand-up double for Terrell Joyce, who drives in Vinny Arlens on a double down the left field line. So down the right field line, down the left field line, the first run of the game. Hi, Angela.
Hi, John. So this is John Klumpers. You have heard me before, but yeah, just wanted to say a few words about Terrell. Terrell, I mean, we signed him already last season, but then because of Corona and the season starting very late, he didn't come. He played in Sweden instead.
And there's a quick
Yeah,
balk
no problem.
called there.
We had that in the game before as well, by the
Yeah.
way, a balk. And and of course we tried to bring him to Bonn then this season, and we are happy that it happened, so to speak.
That curveball low for ball one. There's now a runner on third base.
And here's Daniel Lam Hunt with 2 home runs in the first game.
Impressive, 3 for 4. And those two home runs.
5 RBI.
5 RBIs. Looking good in the stats book so far for third baseman.
I mean, all in all, 5 home runs, 3 triples in the first game, which shows that we have some power hitters out there. But I said that in the game before. The pitching is not that strong, the pitching of Dortmund.
Well, set to see with Ricardo Gonzalez. Looks like he has some decent stuff, but already the first run is in for the Capitals. He is throwing strikes. You got to at least give him. It's not.
I mean, these are decent pitchers, you know. But if you have strong hitters like the Bonn Capitals hitters are right now, it's not easy.
And there's a load of talent on these Capitals as that ball is fouled back to even a count 1-1. The Capitals roster filled is deep. And Max Schmitz wants to play and rotate players, get people to play different positions. This is on his agenda. Very much like the trend in Major League Baseball in the United States, this desire, you got to be able to play more than one position. And the shortstop picks that one up, and good throw. Almost ran into the third baseman. He throws Daniel Lam Hunt out for the third out of the inning, but 1 run comes across. In the bottom half of the first, the score 1-0 as we enter the second inning in a few moments. Capitals TV here as we head into the second inning with the home team ahead 1-0 already. Before we start, and we might need time, sorry, Angela, maybe a little time to explain this, because I am not in any way sure why is the Bundesliga South basically played a complete season so far, and the Bundesliga North is just literally getting started at the end of the month of May.
This was a decision by the federation, the German Federation of Baseball. Because in the south, the authorities allowed them to play baseball early, to go out because of Corona, go out and play baseball. Of course, without fans. And they decided then, because this was a problem. I mean, not in Bonn. We could have played all the time. But in the North League, like Paderborn and Berlin and Dortmund, they had problems. So they were not allowed to play. And then it was supposed to start on the 8th of May, and then it was postponed again. So it's a pity, because we think it's not really even between North and South. with the experience that you get over
Sure.
the season,
Yeah.
it's a strong advantage for the South
Yep.
that they can play more games.
Oh, absolutely. They basically do have a whole season under
They
their
have a whole
belts.
season.
And the northern teams are just getting started. So there's called third strike to the catcher, Ivan Alba, who goes down without looking, or goes down looking, sorry. Goes down looking and to start the top half of the second inning. So that's the fourth strikeout for Sascha Koch. That brings up the left fielder, Roy Vesche. And there's that outside corner again as Roy Vesche looks down, wondering if that was a strike. But this is something that the players will get accustomed to as they're really finding their way back to any kind of rhythm. And as you were saying, that some of these players, I'm sure, at least on the teams that are maybe don't have the facilities and they weren't allowed because of Corona to do things.
And even if you play only half of the season, your rhythm is not as strong as the rhythm after 28. We play 14 games, in the South they play 28 games, which is a big difference. This is the reason why they decided, or hopefully, I mean, it's not the final decision, but to 90%, the federation decided that the playoff, quarterfinals and semifinals will be played within the leagues. And only in the finals we will see the South then. So.
And that one, Vinny Ireland's must have been a foul tip as he took one. Can't see from our vantage point where that hit him, but he's in pain as he's on all fours. It's hard to say at the moment where that ball got Vinny Ireland's. He's on one knee now. Got the tip, and that is painful. And there's, unless you're wearing something like steel-tipped shoes, which I don't think any baseball player does, it's a vulnerable part of your body to get a ball coming at maybe 80 to 90 miles an hour tipped onto the tips of a foot, and.
Waiting for less pain.
Walking that one off. And you see that there are protectors there, but it's easy for that to miss. If it bounces off the ground or right on the ground and at the tip of the toes, But he's shaking that one off, it looks like, even if he's still bunched over in a little bit of pain. The count now is 2-2. To Roy Vesche, the left fielder. Kevin Muzic says play ball again. Even count, and that curveball outside. Count goes full on Roy Vesche. And so and that outside slider, swing and a miss, and that is the fifth strikeout in 1 2/3 innings so far for Sascha Koch. Which brings up Dean Kustoff, the center fielder. He didn't play in the first game, and he swings and misses in.
Oh, he played in the first game.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
Then he must have been substituted. Kustoff Dean? Or Dean Kustoff, sorry. And swing and a miss, strike two.
Yeah, he has written it wrong.
Ah, okay. I did, yeah. Getting work from my previous speaker here. So Dean Kustoff down 0-2, and that curveball outside for ball one. Dean Kustoff 0 for 3 in the first game with 3 fly balls to the right fielder. And a check swing, but it's a called strike anyway. And he strikes out the side, 1-2-3. Struck out the side in the first inning. And after an inning and a half of play, the score in Bonn, 1-0. This is Capitals TV. We're heading to the bottom of the second inning. Coming to the plate is Donnie Longhorst, who's in right field in this second game. Getting his first at-bats this season, a young season, the second game of the season. With the Capitals ahead early in this game, 1-0. Pitch from Gonzalez, and that one sails outside for ball 1 to Danny Longhorst. So that one at the knees inside, strike one, 1-1. Now the flags are raised in center field and basically going from left to right. And big swing, big cut, strike 2. He was swinging for the fences there. So Donnie Longhorst hits a ground ball to the shortstop, who gets it just in time. Sure-handed Vicente Velazquez has now assisted on, or he has 1 direct out and 3 assists. And we're already 1 out away in the bottom of the second. And coming to the plate is Lennart Vella. That one inside. Ball 1. Second pitch comes in, and that one low for ball 2. 2-0 the count. Lennart Vella. No.
Didn't play in the first game, so.
No. And that one's inside for ball 3. Oh, it'll be interesting to see if he takes on this pitch or if he's given the green light. Naturally, he'd be expecting something right down the middle. That one's inside for ball 4. 4 pitch base on balls to Lennart Vella. And that brings up the left fielder. I have to get used to saying that because Nick Michelli was catcher last season. And he's one of the players that Mark Schmitz will be using in almost every position possible.
Yeah, he's really a utility player.
Yeah.
He can pitch, he can play outfield, he can...
could catch in a pinch,
He
obviously.
could catch, of course, yeah.
And throw over to first base. Lennart Vella back. And Nick Michelli steps back in. And foul back. And Nick Michelli, with 2 home runs last season, gets the signal from Mark Schmitz at third base. 0-1 count. Pitcher looks over to first, throws over. And Velo back in plenty of time. As his lead is not so aggressive. Pitch in, and that one's high for ball one, sorry. 1-1. Oh, 1-1, one out. Runner on first. Nick Michelli gets the pitch. That one's inside for ball 2. Looking at the internet site, the website of the Capitals, and Nick Michelli is listed as a utility player.
Yeah.
So absolutely one of these all-rounders that in a pinch will come in and fill that role where needed. It gives a lot of flexibility to any team to have players like that. Having one is good, and more would be great. He steps out of the box. Counts 2-2. Gonzalez gets the sign. Pitch to home, and that one is swing, foul tip, and out. As Nick Michelli out on a foul tip swinging. That's the second out of the inning. And stepping to the plate is second baseman. Kevin Lamberts. Why was I thinking Danny? Kevin Lamberts, the second baseman today in this game. Didn't see a lot of action last season. 4 at-bats, 7 plate appearances. Eddie Stommel played second in the first game, and that ball thrown back to first. Again, Leonard Vela back in plenty of time as Gonzalez keeping him honest. 1-0 count. Swing and a miss. Even a count, 1-1. To Lamberts, who's batting in the 9 slot. Bottom of the order. On deck is Eric Blank. Pitch comes, and that one right down the plate. Straight down the middle for strike 2. 1-2. What is good, and having watched baseball at strike 3, I'll come back with my little tale in a moment as Gonzalez strikes out Kevin Lamberts to end the second inning. Scores 1-0 on Caps TV.
Auch in den Playoffs die entscheidenden Spiele dann gewinnen.
Ihr habt ziemlich aufgebaut im Pitching-Staff, also ziemlich tiefe Bank sozusagen. Wie schätzt du den ein, deinen Pitching-Staff?
Ja, ich glaube tatsächlich, dass von der Tiefe her kein Team in Deutschland mit uns mithalten kann. Auch was die Qualität unserer Arme angeht. Wir haben jetzt auch in den letzten Wochen wieder unser Roster verstärkt mit einem ehemaligen Double-A-Pitcher, Marcus Jensen, der zu den Capitals kommt und die Importrolle von Zach Dodson übernehmen wird.
Darf ich kurz unterbrechen? Das wollten wir den Leuten jetzt gerade noch mal mitteilen. Das ist nämlich eine echte News hier. Also erzähl uns noch ein bisschen über den Marcus Jensen.
Ja, Marcus Jensen war bei den Tampa Bay Rays unter Vertrag, wurde released aufgrund der Corona-Pandemie und den fehlenden Roster-Spots und hat jetzt sich entschieden, die letzten Jahre quasi noch ein bisschen zu reisen, was von der Welt zu sehen und Baseball zu spielen, so die letzten Jahre seiner Baseballkarriere zu genießen. War bisher in Dracci bei Brno und hat sich entschieden, jetzt sich den Capitals anzuschließen.
Gut, das ist ein Amerikaner, aber ihr habt ja auch noch den Joe Wittig geholt, aber der hat ja einen italienischen Pass, ne?
Exakt, Joe kann sowohl im Feld, also im Infield spielen, als auch unseren Pitching-Staff verstärken. Und das ist genau das, was wir wollen, Option.
Gut, aber Spiele gewinnt man natürlich auch mit der Offensive, nicht nur mit der Defensive. Wie sind die Jungs so drauf?
Also ich glaube, wer die Vorbereitungsspiele verfolgt hat, sieht, dass wir wirklich ein schlagstarkes Team sind. Gerade das Hinzufügen von Vinnie Ahrens und Terrell Joyce macht einen riesigen Unterschied. Die Line-Up ist länger.
Leading off the top of the third inning is the designated, looking at the roster, strike one. On the first pitch from Koch. Anders mowing him down. And that one is called strike three. And Gaison Alberano to the plate. And the second pitch is called strike. When they make contact, they tend to be swinging late. Balls, all of them right-handers, balls going towards left field without exception. And that check swing is called a ball. No swing. As the first base umpire screamed at. Could hear it all the way up here. 2-2 count. And that one is called strike three. As that one caught the bottom edge of the plate. And yet another K. That is his fourth called strikeout. He has 4 strikeouts swinging. And get back to the top of the lineup here with Luis Martin. And you can guess what he did his first time at bat. He struck out. We got one hit, one for the Dortmund, and that hanging curveball falls in for a strike. Third baseman of the Wanderers hits that one right back off the glove or just under the glove of Sascha Koch and into center field for a single. So the second base runner of the game for the Wanderers. We're in the top half of the third inning. Well, the runner now on first base, Luis Martin. He had a stolen base in the first game. So Koch will keep an eye on him. And first pitch is in for ball. Low and outside. To Giovanni Benetti, the first baseman. As the Wanderers looking to get some action on the base paths. Runner on first, 2 outs. And that fastball is low for ball 2. The top of the half of the order, obviously, where there's more quality, better eyes, more patience, and he fouls that one back. Count goes 2-1 with 2 outs. And Luis Martin doesn't look like he's not showing any signs of running, or at least not at the moment. Even the secondary lead quite small. On this 2-1 pitch, Koch gets the signal from Vinnie Arlens. Pitch is in, and that one gets past Arlens. And Luis Martin dashes to second, takes a big turn. He puts on the brakes. And I think Vinnie Arlens is going to have to be charged with a pass ball on that one. That one just more or less went past him. It glanced off his glove, but was a catchable ball. And so Luis Martin doesn't have to steal a base. He's given one on the pass ball. Well, I'm calling it that. I don't know if the scorer did. Well, now we have a runner on second. That's the first time for Dortmund today. Runner in scoring position with 2 outs. Base hit could drive in that run. He will be running on contact, and there's a ball flies back onto the second diamond. The count is 3-2. That's right. Full count. So Luis Martin should be running on the pitch, and he's off. And he takes third base. No play there on ball 4. And so now runners on first and third for the Wanderers. On that base on balls to Benetti. And stepping into the plate is the man who got the first hit of the game for Dortmund. That's Vicente Velazquez. Got a hit in the first game, got a hit in the second game. Hit would drive in a run here, and that's fouled straight back. Sasha Kochstein will going to test his mettle here, get out of this small jam. With 2 outs, counts 0-1. Pitch comes in, and high fastball swings and misses. And the shortstop of the Wanderers, certainly probably their best player, as the home plate umpire steps away for a moment. Oh, and 2 the count to Vicente Velazquez. That one's high and outside. Ball 1. Some small control issues here, too. As Dortmund going through the second time through the order. And that curveball inside for ball 2. 2-2 the count. Well, it looks like the Wanderers are going to say, throw me a fastball because your curveballs aren't hitting the strike zone. And he gets this curveball, and that one called a ball. And that makes a full count, 2 outs. So runner on first will be running on the pitch. And he swings and misses, and Koch gets out of a big one there as he strikes out the side. But a little bit of activity on the base paths, but no runs as Bonn lead 1-0 heading into the bottom of the third. This is Caps TV.
Spiel zu Spiel schauen. Ich glaube, wir werden uns von Spiel zu Spiel steigern.
Nächstes Spiel angreifen. Wir haben noch ein Riesenspiel, jetzt erstmal wieder am Freitag vor der Brust.
Es ist am Samstag ein schweres Spiel.
Und Sonntag geht's weiter.
Es ist nur ein Spiel.
Was danach kommt, das wird man sehen.
Egal, was danach kommt, wir zeigen es live. Mit allen Spielen der 3. Liga, der Penny DEL und der Easy Credit BBL. Nur bei Magenta Sport.
Ja, ich glaube, wir müssen mal ein Spiel.
Mia hat zu Hause einen richtig schönen Designboden, der aber auch leider oberflächige Schäden und tiefe Kratzer aufweist. Dr. Schütz hat dafür die Lösung mit Produkten für die Reinigung und Pflege, wie das Designboden-Pflegeset und um tiefe Kratzer zu beseitigen, das Scratch Fix Repair Set. Und damit Mia genau weiß, wie man ihre Böden zu Hause perfekt pflegt und schützt, gibt es unsere Tutorials auf dem Dr. Schütz YouTube-Channel. Für Mia und euch alle. Damit muss sich Mia nicht mehr um ihre Böden sorgen, sondern kann ganz beruhigt unsere Caps anfeuern. Go Caps! Das ist
If you're just joining us thinking, hey, game on at 4:30, well, you've missed the first 2.5 innings because the first game number 1, was over after 6 innings, Bonn winning 18-3 as we head into the bottom of the third. And leadoff hitter Eric Blank in the batter's box. He got a single in his first at-bat, but was doubled up on a line drive by Wilson Lee shortly thereafter as the count goes to 1-on-1 on the leadoff hitter for the Capitals. And he fouls that one back. And now the count is 1-2. So Blank had a triple in the last game. Single, had a walk, and watches that one just outside for ball 2. The shortstop waits for the pitch. That curveball outside, and we got a full count now. And we hear some bells, and it's nice to hear fans in stadiums again. And we have a nice sized crowd, a maximum capacity under the circumstances of 250. And that line drive over the shortstop's head, and Eric Brank with the second hit of the day, or of the game, I should say. And timeout called. Eric Brank, the shortstop, 2 for 2 now. And that brings up Wilson Lee, who lined out to the shortstop, Velazquez, outside from the left-hander, Gonzalez, for ball 1. My guess would be Mark Schmidt's going to let Wilson Lee do the job and not necessarily have Eric Blank run. Wilson Lee, as we all know, he can hit the home run, but that is a grounder to the shortstop, who steps on second and throws out Wilson Lee for yet another double play by the DH, who's cursing his luck in this game number 2. And so, just like that, there are 2 outs on that 6-3 double play. And stepping to the plate is the lone run of this game. That was Vinny Arlens. He got a double and then was driven in by yet another double. And the the bottom half of the first, and he watches the first pitch catch the outside corner for strike 1. 2 outs here. And that fastball outside for ball 1. Third ball in for a strike. A little change up there, caught Vinny Arlens by surprise. And he's behind on the count now, 1-2. And the catcher slaps that one to the first baseman, Benetti, who fields it cleanly, steps on first. And that's the end of the 3rd inning. The score still 1-0 for the Capitals. This is Caps TV. We head into fourth inning action here in Rheinau in Bonn. Strikeouts, maximum strikeout possibility. And the new pitcher is the side armor right-hander, Sammy Steigert. What can you say about Herr Steigert?
Sammy knows the ballpark because he was here with the German national team 2019 for the European Championships. He studies at a college in the US right now, and he is off the semester and joins. The good thing is our season is short, so that means he will join the Capitals for the complete season. And of course, we are very happy to have such a pitcher. National team. He's from the South League. But as I said, for the last 3 years, he's in the US for studying.
Yeah.
And after the European Championships, he wanted to come last year. It's the same thing with Corona.
Yeah.
He said that he would like to join the Capitals, and then last year.
And that first batter, Velazquez, out on a close play at first. Good play there by Kevin Lamberts. Knocked that ball down, stayed with it, got to his feet, and Victor Velazquez, not the fleetest of runners, couldn't beat that one out. So 4-3.
It was close.
That was very close, but it was an out. It was a good call by the umpire. No reason to have any video review here. And Sammy Steigert gets his first batter, and that one is hit to Kevin Lamberts again. And the catcher, Ivan Alba, decided really not to run that one out. Lazily lumbering down the first base line. And yet again, Kevin Lamberts being kept busy here this inning. I
guess he's happy to be busy because he's not playing. He's not in the top 9 lineup. And of course, when he plays, he would like to show what he can.
Yeah.
You know?
And two cleanly played balls, particularly that first one was a tough one, tough play to get Victor Velazquez out. And then a slightly easier one to get the catcher Alba out. That brings up Roy Vesche, who sees or gets strike one. And
to close on Sammy Steigert, of course, he's one of the top new guys on our bullpen. In our bullpen, so he's definitely a bullpen pitcher, but high quality bullpen pitcher. So as I said before, we have a strong and huge bullpen in terms of like numbers. We have like 8-9 pitchers or so, which is important because that was a target. Because over the last couple of years, finally, when you play a best of 5 or so, we always have seen that our bullpen is not big enough.
No.
And this is what we changed this year.
Yeah, absolutely. And there he caught his toe on that foul. And he's Roy Vesche also in some pain there. So Sammy Steigert is a rare breed on the mound, a submariner. You don't see many side armors. You don't see very many, but he comes from down below 90 degrees, perpendicular to his body, and that's really tough as a pitch, as a hitter, and particularly a right-handed hitter. You feel like that ball is going to hit you all the time. You have to have nerves of steel. You get used to that, I'm sure. But nevertheless, it's awkward. And there's another ball to the right side of the infield, and this one fielded cleanly by Leonard Vela, who tags first base to end that inning. And the top of the fourth goes down fairly easily for the Capitals, and the score remains 1-0. This is Caps TV. Returning to action here. It's the bottom of the fourth inning, and the pitchers are doing a good job on both sides. Capitals have gone to the bullpen already after Sascha Koch's impressive performance in the first 3 innings, striking out all or getting 9 strikeouts for all of his outs. But even Ricardo Gonzalez had a difficult first inning, but has settled down and is going to the second time through the order. And he's facing Terrell Joyce, who got an RBI double in the first inning to score the game's lone run. And Gonzalez is 1-1, the count to Terrell Joyce. And a big swing, and a miss. As Gonzalez's control has improved quite a bit since that first inning. Not uncommon. And now he went fishing for that to try and get some elevation. Instead, Terrell Joyce will return to the dugout with a strikeout. And the center fielder sure would have gladly taken that swing back. And that brings Daniel Lam Hunt to the plate. He grounded out to the shortstop to end the first inning. That curveball in for a strike. Really nice job, I must say, Gonzalez, having calmed down after a somewhat shaky first inning. But looking really good. That one's inside. A little high and inside for ball 1. Lam Hunt would like to possibly repeat what he did in the first game, and that was hitting 2 home runs. And a 2-for-4 performance, 5 RBIs. But runs have been tough to come by so far in this second half of the double bill. Twin bill. And that one also in on his hands for ball 2. 2-1. 3-1. One down in the bottom half of the 4th. And that one takes ball 4. Oh, Capitals get their first runner on base since a walk in the second inning to Lennart Vella. And stepping to the plate will be Longhorst. The right fielder takes strike 1. And since the runs have been so tough to come by so far, it would be a question if Daniel Lam Hunt would want to run, but the lead is fairly small. And ball 1 there, 1-1 now the count. That one is outside for ball 2. Lam Hunt can steal. He does have some steals, or last season he had some steals. Counts 2-1. That's Gonzalez encountering a few small problems here, some control problems all of a sudden. And there goes Daniel Lam Hunt. And on that swing, the catcher couldn't get a hang of the ball. And that's a stolen base for Lam Hunt. So got a runner in scoring position now. So Danny Longhorst looking to get a run across the plate. Counts 2-2. And swings and misses. Big strikeout there for Gonzalez. As the Capitals failing to put the ball in play. So since the first inning, they've managed to get 2 runners on base, but both on account of base on balls. As a strike, I have to correct myself. There was Eric Brank got a single in the 3rd inning, but was taken off the base paths on a double play following that. 0-1 count, and that ball's hit high into the air down the right field line. And foul ball, just out of play. So the right fielder, Victor Velazquez, really, I find, watching the end of the first game, really tempting batters to try and go in that direction because he's far off the line. And that is inside for ball 1. Good look there by Leonard Vela. There are 2 outs with the runner on second base. Hit here could drive in a run, and he slaps that one to left field, but the left fielder drifts back further and further, and Roy Vesha reins it in to end the bottom half of the 4th inning. And so the score remains 1-0 for the Bonn Capitals. This is Caps TV. After 4 innings of play, which have progressed quickly because the pitchers are doing a good job for both sides, keeping base runners off the paths. And the top half of the 5th, Sammy Steigert stays on the mound for the Capitals and gets a strike and a hit on the count to Dean Kustoff, who falls behind already 0-2. And he strikes out Dean Kustoff for his first strikeout. In his first inning of pitching, in the 4th, there were 3 ground balls to the right side, 2 to Kevin Lamberts and 1 to Leonard Vela. As the Dortmund batters trying to accustom themselves to the new pitcher and certainly to a pitching style they wouldn't be seeing very often, the submarine sidearm pitch. And there's another ball to the right-hand side. This time, Steigert does what every good pitcher does when the ball is hit to the right side. Immediately jump off the mound to first base. He covers it, and that's simply good play. First baseman to the pitcher covering on first for the second out of the inning. So Gason Gomez goes down 3-1. And there's a ball hit to the shortstop. Eric Blank comes in, and that was a little too casual.
Yeah, I think the problem was that he had to run into it because it was a slow ball, and then he couldn't control it.
But I looking at it, and I couldn't have my eyes both on the ball and the runner. I think if he had tried to plant, he probably would have made that play. That's a tough play when you're on the run charging. But nevertheless, Mel Berna on first base for the Wanderers. E6. And now at the top of the order, a third time through for the Wanderers. This is Luis Martin. Slashes one foul into the fence just over the Capitals dugout. Next pitch comes in. That one inside. He swings and misses, takes the bait, and is down 0-2 already. With the runner on first base. 2 outs, and that curveball slider. Careful there. People shouldn't. So he's looking at their. Thought he was looking at a cell phone, but he's looking at a very nice camera there. Seeing what pictures he has taken. Count remains 0-2. To Luis Martin, the center fielder who hits a grounder to third base Lam Hunt, and he ends the inning with a strong throw to first base. And it's after 4.5 complete innings of play in Bonn. It still is 1-0 for the Capitals. And I know that my colleague Brent likes to do quizzes.
We didn't do any.
You didn't do a quiz. I saw his material, so
But he didn't ask me any questions.
He didn't ask you any. What kind of a colleague is that?
Yeah.
Anyway, so
I'm not very good at quizzes. But
well, maybe Maxwell would be able to, or people on our YouTube channel. We'll leave that up. So,
let's see what they answer.
Let's see how quickly they can answer, though. There have been 6 no-hitters in Major League Baseball in the U.S. this season. Which team has not been no-hit that I name here? Because only 3 teams have been no-hit, although there have been 6 no-hitters. So each team has been no-hit twice. And so the teams you have Seattle, Texas, Pittsburgh, or Cleveland. Which team has not been no-hit? Seattle, Texas, Pittsburgh, Cleveland. Think about that one as we'll stay on air here. We'll see if
we check on our YouTube
check
channel.
Into the YouTube channel and see what the people, hopefully they don't look everything up on the internet like people do all the time. But it's been if you pay attention to the Major League Baseball in the U.S., lots of no-hitters.
Okay, the answer is?
Do we need to know the answer? Yeah. Nobody answered yet. Should we just leave it up?
Yeah, leave it for an inning.
We'll leave it. This has been going very fast, and so we enter the bottom half of the 5th inning with Nick Michelli coming up stepping to the plate. He struck out his first appearance, and he squares the bunt. Put that one's outside. He takes ball 1. And there's that ever so familiar music for Nick Michelli. I know that's his walk-on, walk-up music. Next pitch, and that one high for ball 2. Waiting for answers. Which team has not been no-hit? Seattle, Texas, Pittsburgh, or Cleveland? And that one is called for strike. Nick Michelli leaned away a little bit as it curved back in and caught the inside corner of the plate. That one's dances. He pulls the back foot back, and a strike is called. So it's 2-2 now. Counts even. The leadoff hitter in the bottom half of the fifth, and he slices that one down the right field line and off the
On the roof of the batting
bullpen
cage.
roof.
Yeah.
Batting cage. Yeah, is that also the bullpen?
Yeah,
It
it's
is,
also
huh?
the bullpen, yeah.
Bullpen batting cage in the fine facilities here in the Rhein-Aue. Count remains 2-2. And he hits that one over the shortstop's head for a single. Also big turn at first, and ball is back in the infield. A single for Nick Michelli to lead off the fifth inning. And I think we got a new batter coming in, huh?
Yeah, that's Eddie Stommel.
Eddie Stommel stepping in. He'll be substituting, taking the place of Kevin Lamberts at second base. Straight up change. Oh, Eddie Stommel in now. As the second batter in this inning with a runner on first base already. That leadoff single over the head of shortstop Velazquez. It's the third time the leadoff hitter has gotten on base for the Capitals in this game. And that one's off the top of the glove as Eddie Stommel goes after the first pitch for a single, and now we've got runners on first and second. So Ricardo Gonzalez facing now
Maybe we got
top of the
something
order.
going now.
Let's see if that rally is going and put some runs on the board. Top of the order
It's about time.
as runners on first and second. Eddie Stommel with a single. Following Nick Michelli's single. Both nice line drives over the infield, and the outfielder, that's Roy Vesche coming in, left fielder to talk. Taking on coaching duties from the field. And the umpires letting them talk a while here. Not breaking it up. And Roy Vesche trots back out to left field as they coordinate what to do, possibly in the case of a ground ball. Do they want to try and turn two? Do they want to go for the sure or the best out at third base? Actually get the lead runner. Nick Michelli on second. Eddie Stommel on first with nobody out. Eric Blank steps to the plate. He's 2 for 2 today. And he drives that one foul down the left field line. Just a bit too early on that swing. But a clear signal to Ricardo Gonzalez. Don't try and get a fastball past me. It ain't going to work.
And there's a big gap there on the right-hand
Yeah.
side. So that's a nice gap.
Center fielder playing a shading to his to his right, to our left. The big gap between right and center field, and tries to slap that one, and it's a sky-high foul ball. That's out of play. The count remains 0-2. Oh, nobody out with runners on first and second for the Capitals. Both the first two hitters getting on base with singles over the interior infielders. One time over the shortstop head, one time over the second baseman's head, and that one almost got past the catcher to the backstop. A good stop by Ivan Alba. Prevent that from happening, and the runners advancing. That count goes to 1-2. Well, the left-hander looking for his best friend. That would be the double play, and that's a line drive right at Roy Vesche for the first out of the inning. As Eric Blank goes down for the first time today. Stepping to the plate will be Wilson Lee, who has hit into 2 double plays so far. One time on a line drive to the shortstop. Could do better. The first double play wasn't completely his fault, but either way, it's a double play, and first pitch is a ball. So big hit here from the DH. Could put a run across the plate. That one's outside. Ball 2. Now, I don't know if we have a camera. Is there anyone throwing in the Dortmund pen, or are they going with Gonzalez? Nothing that we can see at the moment. Counts 2-0. And again, short pause in play as Dortmund left fielder Roy Vesche comes in yet again.
He's the playing coach, Roy Vesche.
The coach, manager, and now with that second visit to the mound is the question, will there be a pitching change? He's talking with his bench players, maybe other coaches, trying to figure out just exactly what Dortmund wants to do. Now talking with the home plate umpire, Kevin Muzic. And he trots back out to left field. It must be, I don't know, because at least in Major League Baseball, you don't have player coaches. Can't remember the last time there was one. But
yeah, we had a few in Bundesliga.
Yeah, but what I'm wondering is, when does it count as a visit to the mound? Because if you have 2 visits to the mound by the bench,
I
then
mean,
you
this one would probably not count there because he didn't come to the mound exactly. So.
Yeah. He just talked from a socially safe distance, huh?
So to speak.
And there's a line drive over the head of the shortstop, but the runner Nick Michelli had to hold up, and he gets the green light. He's coming home, and the throw to cut off by the shortstop, but he couldn't control it, and they got 2 runs. 2-0 lead now for the Capitals on that line drive just over the head, the extended arm and glove of Vicente Velazquez to drive in Nick Michelli. The runner advances to third. We got runners at first and third. Wilson Lee with an RBI single. And now, Eddie Stommel on third base on that RBI single by Wilson Lee, and that brings up Vinny Arlens, the catcher. He has a double in the first inning. It's 1 for 2. And now that the Bonn batters are stepping up for the third time against Gonzalez, they feel a little more comfortable against the left-hander. And here's a shot into the right center field gap, and it's going to go all the way to the fence. Center fielder.
And Wilson Lee has to run all the way from first.
And Wilson Lee rambles around from first base on a 2 RBI double by Vinny Arlens as he hits that ball over the second baseman's head all the way to the fence, because there was a large gap in right center field.
What we said before.
Yeah,
there is a big gap.
They're expecting the right-handed hitters to pull a little bit. They're cheating that direction towards left center field, and the score is now 4-0, and it looks like there is going to be a pitching change.
So now it's the second visit to the mound.
And that's going to be all for Ricardo Gonzalez, who gives up 4 runs in 4 1/3 innings. He's also responsible for the runner on second base, Vinny Arlens. We get a pitching change, and we're going to take a short timeout as we get some numbers. And this is Caps TV. The new pitcher in for the Wanderers, that's Dave Parradella, number 28, right-handed pitcher, as he comes in to end or stop the small crisis, you could say, as Bonn have tallied 3 runs so far in the bottom half of the 5th. So Parradella facing now Terrell Joyce. He has an RBI double way back in the first inning. And he takes ball 1 against the new right-handed pitcher from Dortmund. Throw back to second base, and a balk is called. Dortmund having to do some work on the mound to make sure that their pitchers don't throw too many balks. It's the 3rd one today, I believe. They threw 2 this game, 1 in the previous game. So the runner moves to 3rd on that balk. And that one is shot into the moon practically, and the first baseman, Velazquez. Good play there. That one was very high. And Vinny Arlens can't advance on that naturally, as the ball didn't even make it 90 feet down the line in foul territory for the second out of the inning. Terrell Joyce now 1 for 3. Stepping to the plate is the third baseman, Daniel Lam Hunt. He is 0 for 1 with a walk and a stolen base. That was last inning. And fouls that one off the plate. Check swing for strike 1. 0-1. 2 outs now, as the new pitcher, Dave Parradella, got Terrell Joyce to pop up into foul territory on the first base side for the second out of the inning. Runner on third base still. Lam Hunt steps to the plate, and that one is fouled back. Parradella has some velocity behind his fastball. As that gap in right center field still there for the taking. With the center fielder, Kustoff, shading towards left field. That one's low and inside for ball 1. with the wind not playing much of a role here in the second game. Now one is in the dirt, making the count 2-2. Any answers on that quiz? People are not participating. And you can guess. It is multiple choice. Cleveland. What do you want to say, Anglady? Seattle, Texas, Pittsburgh, Cleveland. Yeah. Both of you are wrong. Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh. Yeah. Yeah. So the first pitch, the first no-hitter of the season is Joe Musgrove. He threw his for San Diego. Thank you for bringing that to my attention. Apparently another balk. There can be no other explanation for it. And so the Dortmund coaching staff will have to instruct their pitchers better in what you can do and can't do, because that was the second balk. And that is a nicely hit ball past the second baseman between first and second. Would have driven in the run anyway, but now he doesn't get the RBI for it, as Vinny Arlens scored on a balk. And now Danny Longhorst. He's 0 for 2. The right fielder takes ball 1. And the hard-throwing right-handed pitcher throws ball 2. If you are just joining us, the Capitals have scored 4 runs in the bottom half of the 5th after what was a very tight game through 4.5 innings. Bonn scored 1 run in the first inning, but was having their difficulties against the left-handed Dortmund pitcher Gonzalez. Brought in relief to help, though. And there's another walk. The Dortmund pitcher Parradella trying to wiggle his way out of this inning. And it looks like there's going to be a pinch hitter. Joe Wittig. All right, new boy. Joe Wittig is stepping to the plate. He was the DH in the first game. Drew 2 walks, had a triple, drew 3 walks and a triple. Left-handed hitter. Mark Schmitz wants to see if advantages of a left-handed hitter against right-handed pitching. Brings in Joe Wittig. That first pitch is in the dirt for ball 1. Well, Mark Schmitz also not slow to change. Got some answers here. That's not bad. All right. Good job, Joe Blow. Joe Blow. And take strike 1. Now it counts 2-1 as I was distracted by quiz answers pouring in their dozens on our YouTube channel. Do check us out. When the Capitals are playing home games, we're broadcasting. We're streaming live on YouTube. Obviously, you know that if you are listening to this now, but tell your friends. Tell those people who might be interested or who are interested in baseball that German Bundesliga baseball is top quality. And the play here, particularly in Bonn, is excellent. And I wonder if that's a rule violation there, Joe Wittig, as he drops one over the shortstop's head, and Daniel Lam Hunt he's going to run around and score for an RBI single. I was going to just say Joe Wittig might have violated rules by having his shirt untucked. And he got around to first base, and what's the first thing he did? He tucked in his shirt. So I'm not saying that it is a rule, but it wouldn't surprise me because you never see a baseball player with their shirt untucked. So I'm sure he was not aware of it. But I'm surprised the umpire didn't tell him before he took that pitch. Hey, tuck your shirt in. Nick Michelli up as we have batted through the order in this inning in Bonn. The Capitals now ahead 6-0. As that curveball drops in the front door for strike one to Nick Michelli. There's the music. I was wondering when that was going to come. Strike two. Runners on first and second, 2 outs. As Dave Parradella tries to end this inning with a strike. Fastball, no. And held up that check swing. The count goes to 1-2. 1-2 with 2 outs. Runners on first and second. 5 runs have crossed the plate here in the bottom half of the 5th. Nick Michelli's big swing and goes down swinging. For the third and final out in the bottom half of the 5th, but not before Bonn scores 5 runs and lead now 6-0 after 5 full innings of play. This is Caps TV. Well, Max Schmidt's doing some rotating after having substituted Joe Wittig. He batted for Leonard Vella, but Wittig will not take Vella's position at first base, but rather moves to third base. And Joe Wittig is still trying to tuck in his pants, or his shirt. He's having obviously there's a jersey issue here. He's got a what is it called? A wardrobe malfunction? Is that what it? But he moves to third base, and Daniel Lam Hunt moves over to first as Leonard Veller's day is ended after 5 innings of play. And stepping to the plate for the Vandellas is the leadoff hitter Luis Martin, and he hits a foul ball. Luis Martin has a single to his credit and a strikeout. 1 for 2. It's a third appearance and hits that one off his foot. People are hurting themselves a lot today at the plate, or hurting the catcher. And the umpire goes to have a conversation with Sammy Steigert about doing a little bit of grooming on the mound. Kevin Music looking at the ball. Don't know. Playing groundskeeper today, Kevin Music. We're in the top half of the sixth inning with the Bonn Capitals leading 6-0 against the Dortmund Wanderers. And that is outside for ball one. 1-2 now the count. And he hits a sharp grounder to Eric Blank. He fields it cleanly, and a nice scoop there by Daniel Lam Hunt to throw out Luis Martin. And that brings up the first. Sorry. Did I make a mistake there? Who was that? That was Giovanni Benetti, huh?
15, yeah, Benetti.
So what happened to Luis Martin last inning? What did I do there? I missed something. Okay. So, take a step back. That was Benetti. This is Vicente Velazquez, who hits a sky-high fly ball to the shortstop for the second out of the inning on one pitch. 2 down very quickly. I am all confused in my score sheet. My, oh my. And his brother, Vicente's brother, Victor, steps to the plate. The right fielder has struck out, grounded out to second base. As Sammy Steigert, and there's another ball to this one to Eddie Stommel, the second baseman, and that was a quick inning for Sammy Steigert as they go down quietly 1-2-3, the Wanderers, and this is Caps TV. Kirsche Jung, Eddie Stommel Stepping into the batter's box to begin the bottom half of the 6th inning. He entered the game in the 5th inning against taking the place of Kevin Lamberts at second base. And came around to score in a productive inning with a crooked number for the Capitals. Having put up 5 in the last frame, and he sends that one straight back on a foul ball. Counts as 0-1. And that curveball just inside for ball 1. That one's high. As Parradella.
I thought we can talk a little bit about the coming weeks.
Sure. Yeah.
We have on Thursday, which is a public holiday here in Germany, we have a game against Solingen, the one that was cancelled last week.
That's in Solingen, correct?
Yeah, so we have 6 games within 8 days. So we have this weekend, then we have on Thursday in Solingen, and next week we are here, have a home game again against Dortmund.
Yeah.
And even the next 3 weeks we have home games on the weekends. So
and Eddie Stommel goes down swinging.
So a lot of baseball now that we started.
Yeah.
With the season.
And this is absolutely for a team that has a pitching, some depth in the pitching staff, a big advantage. Honestly, the Capitals are, I think, by far the best team in the North. Traditional challengers, Solingen, Paderborn.
Yeah, but Paderborn, which was a surprise, yesterday lost to Hamburg.
That's true.
Which we didn't expect. I'm just checking how they played today. But my baseball Bundesliga is down again.
Down again.
Not ours. Baseball Bundesliga website.
Yeah. Count is 2-1 to Eric Blank. He's 2 for 3. On deck, Wilson Lee. And the player in the hole sent back to the hole. Vinny Ireland's umpire doesn't want him practicing his swings. Only Wilson Lee is allowed to do that as a man on deck. And that ground ball dribbles to the third baseman, and he scoops it up and can't throw out Eric Blank. That was a hard play. That ball just dribbled down the third base line. And before Luis Martin could get to it, it was hard to stop. Hard to stop that. Another infield single for Eric Blank. He's now 3 for 4 today. And that brings up Wilson Lee. Let's hope that's not bad news for Eric Blank, because every time Eric has been on base this game, every time, it's 2 times he's got on the base with a single. He's ended up being in a double play with Wilson Lee, the batter causing that double play. I'm sure Wilson Lee is not happy about it either.
No, he will change something about it now.
But he had a single in his last at-bat and scored a run. And that ball gets away. It was in the dirt, and Ivan Alba just gobbled him up so that Eric Blank can go down to second base. Wilson Lee, with a hit, could drive in a run. Eric Blank advances 90 feet after that wild pitch. Counts now 1-1. There is a lot of baseball action coming up for the Capitals, and in July, which is not too far away, to be honest, they're in the Champions Cup,
Yeah.
where they and the German champions, the Heidekopf. I wonder what a Heidekopf is.
I don't know.
But those two teams are representing Germany in the European Championship, Club Championship.
It's 1 week in Ostrava in the Czech Republic.
In the Czech Republic. I know my friend and colleague.
It's in our magazine.
Oh, it was in a magazine, but but that's in German. I had some English information from my colleague.
Uh-huh.
So from the 13th to the 17th of July.
Yeah.
And the teams that Bonn are playing.
Yeah.
So the Capitals play L&D Amsterdam. ASD Parma, so Amsterdam from the Netherlands, must be a good team. The Netherlands always produce good players, good teams. And that's a squibber to the right side of the infield.
Broken bat. Sounded like broken bat.
Yeah, something happened there. That ball was spinning as it got to the first baseman who throws or tags out. And Wilson Lee goes down, but Eric Blank advances to third. He's only 90 feet away from home. ASD Parma, Italian team. And the hosts, the Arrows of Ostrava in the Czech Republic. So in that week in July, after the regular season has ended here, it's off to the European Championships. Now there are 2 outs. And Vinny Arlens sends a long one straight to center field. And the center fielder, on the warning track, gathers that one in. Long. But that is an out, no matter how far away it is caught. And no runs come across the plate, despite a single to lead by Eric Blank. And after 6 full innings, the score is an even 6 runs, one run per inning, you could say.
Ja, schon gesehen.
And this is Caps TV. Now in for his 4th inning of pitching is Sammy Steigert. It's now in, it's remaining in. Last 3 innings, given up no runs. His predecessor, Sasha Koch, gave up no runs. As the first batter here in the top half of the 7th, Ivan Alba, looks at strike 1, and he gets strike 2. And he looks incredulously at the home plate umpire. And home plate umpire points at him. I don't know, maybe say no, call a timeout. Counts 0-2 now. And Alba goes down swinging. It's taking a little while for the next batter to come to the plate. Should be Aloy Vesha. Yeah, it is. Aloy Vesha, he's 0 for 2 today. Strikeout. He grounded out to the first baseman. The first time he faced Steigert. That was back in the 4th inning. And that pitch just low for ball 1. That one catches the outside corner for strike 1. One and one to count, one down already. And he pulls that one just down, past third base, foul. 1-2 now the count on Aloy Vesha. Player coach, left fielder. You certainly have your hands full when you have to deal with roster issues, make decisions about pitchers while playing. That one skips under the feet of Aloy Vesha. I think he might have got a cramp there, huh? Jumping over that ball. He had to do a little hop and a skip to avoid that inside pitch. The count even now at 2-2. And he lines one to the left fielder, Nick Michelli, for a single. And that's the first runner for them since the 5th inning. Oh, 1-out single for the left fielder. That brings up Dean Kustoff, the center fielder. Dean Kustoff went down, and he hits one to the center fielder just over the second baseman's head, and all of a sudden 2 hits in a row. Sammy Steigert running into some difficulties now. With runners on first and second for Dortmund. And the DH will be coming to the plate. Gason Gomez. Gibson. Welche Nummer? What number is that? So we're trying to figure out. There's a new runner on first base. Comes in for Gason Gomez. And no, Gason Gomez is batting. Is he? No. That's number 4. Yeah, he's the center fielder. No pinch runners. So Paderborn has lost 2 games this weekend to the Hamburg Steelers. Sammy Steigert trying to get out of a minor pickle here at the moment. Of course, the lead is not threatened by any way, but 6 runs, a healthy lead. Counts 0-2 to the DH, Gason Gomez, and a swing and a miss. As he corkscrews into the ground on that swing. Woo! That's the second out of the inning. 2 strikeouts sandwiched around 2 singles. And Mel Burner, the second baseman, at the plate. He reached in the 5th inning on an errant throw. The count on that foul ball, now 0-1. As things stand, if the score, or there's no lead change, Sammy Steigert would be the winning pitcher, and Joe Wittig picks up that one and throws across to first base to end the top half of the 7th inning with the score 6-0 for the Bonn Capitals. This is Caps TV. Heading into the bottom half of the 7th inning, the center fielder, Terrell Joyce, steps into the batter's box. The now 29-year-old has a double in 3 at-bats. That double drove in the first run of the game in the very first inning. And the cleanup hitter, looking to get back on base, takes that first pitch high for ball 1. And that curveball just foul down the third baseline, making the count 1-1. That curveball far outside. So Dave Parradella came into the game with 1 out in the 5th inning. Is responsible for 1 run that scored. Because he balked twice. The runner on second, he balked. Strike. Vinny Allens to third base, he balked him, and he balked him home also. 3-2 count now, and that one is low. And Terrell Joyce draws a base on balls. And the leadoff hitter on base now, bringing Daniel Lam Hunt. to the plate. He's 1 for 2 today. Single. He scored the second run of the game back in the 5th inning. And there's a nice shot to right field, going the opposite way, and Terrell Joyce advances to third. Close play, then cut off by the shortstop, and runners now on first and third on that. Fine piece of hitting by Daniel Lam Hunt, just taking it the other way. So now runners on first and third. Coming to the plate is going to be Donnie Longhorst, the right fielder. Drew a walk in the 5th inning. He came around to score. And now, pitch gets away past the catcher, and all he can do is go to the backstop as Terrell Joyce crosses the plate on a wild pitch. And extends Bonn's lead. Oh! And Parradella has just been tossed from the game. He said something that didn't sit well with the umpire, Kevin Muzic, and he gave him the heave-ho. And makes things difficult for... And he's talking to somebody in the dugout. Whatever happened, Dortmund are going to have to bring in a new pitcher with nobody out here in the bottom half of the 7th. And conversation here. The dugout representative of the Wanderers. And so here comes the new pitcher from the bullpen. Yeah, when you're down 7-0, there's probably not much reason, particularly when you threw a wild pitch. I don't know what he said. Oh.
To the federation.
Yeah, so fines are included when players are ejected from games. As the new Dortmund pitcher reaches the mound. Number 12. We're going to find out who that is in a second. He'll get some warm-up tosses. I'm sure he'll get as many warm-up pitches as he... Jorge Martin. Okay. That might be Lewis's. Is he? I wonder if he has a brother.
Yeah, it's one of the brothers.
Another brother. Yeah. So.
Lewis. It's Jorge.
Yeah. I understood that. Yeah. So the new pitcher Jorge.
I would in Spanish say Jorge.
Why don't you spell that for me, Angela?
Jorge.
Jorge Martin. Okay. Nee, Jorge. That would be, in German, Georg. My brother's dog is named George. And when I want to have some fun with my brother, because he loves hearing German, then if I visit him, I'll talk to his dog. I go, hey, Georg. And my brother's rolling in the chair. He thinks that sounds like the funniest thing that you could ever say to a dog. Georg! And he starts screaming, Georg! We're getting a little crazy here. Maybe
There's not much going on.
it's a little Dolesville at the moment. As Jorge Martin warms up for the Wanderers. Again, he probably gets all the time he needs to warm up. But Dave Parradella makes things difficult for the Wanderers. So now with nobody out and a runner on second base, 1 run already across the plate in this inning. And Jorge inherits a 1-0 count after the ejection of Parradella. We need our man on the field. Somebody on the field. What was behind this ejection? Where's our man on the field?
Yeah. We need a spy.
We need a spy. Or we need a damn good microphone, huh? I catch that. All right. We're back to action here. It's do I hear anything? Do I hear myself? Oh, and there's a high on the infield, and the third baseman, once that one, takes charge for the first out of the inning. And that's Danny Longhorst goes down and pop up to third base. For the first out, the runner is still on second base. That's Daniel Lam Hunt. Stepping up to the plate is Joe Wittich, pitcher, infielder. And he had a single in the fifth inning to drive in a run. And he fouls that one straight back. Left-handed hitter facing Jorge Martin. 0-1 count, one down. And nice change up there by Martin to get strike two on Joe Wittich. Lam Hunt on second, and that fastball inside for ball one. Bells are ringing, cowbells. That one's outside for ball two. So Jorge Martin wants to get his team actually out of a somewhat sticky situation, say, simply because they lost a pitcher unnecessarily. And there's a foul ball just down the first baseline. Count remains the same, 2-2. Compared to the pitchers at the beginning of the game for both teams, both Koch and Gonzalez, the pace has slowed down a little bit, these pitchers. Taking a little bit more time at the moment. That one's inside, and the count goes full. So getting ahead 0-2 on the count. Joe Wittich now looking at a 3-2 full count. And next pitch, payoff pitch comes. That one's low and outside. Wittich draws a base on balls. So now we have runners on first and second base. With Nick Michelli grooming the batter's box for his feet. Score 7-0. The cowbell is ringing and throws that one inside. Nick Michelli does his best Neo impression to bend backwards away from that one. 1-0 count, and that curveball in for strike. One and 1 to count. And that one just catches the inside corner of the plate. Yeah, Nick Michelli finds himself behind now, 1-2. And he slaps that one just to end the center field. And it gets past the center fielder. And that's going to bring in a second run. Daniel Lam Hunt scores. And so does Joe Wittich. They call that one a single and with an error for Nick Michelli. Give him an RBI. 2-run score. On a single error. 8 for Nick Michelli and Eddie Stommel. 1 for 2 in his 2 at-bats. He came in the 5th inning for Kevin Lamberts. That fastball is low for ball 1. One and 0 count. That curveball is low and outside for ball 2. Fastball, strike 1. With the score 9-0 now. The Capitals look to extend that lead. The pitching quality of the Wanderers has decreased a little bit with Jorge Martin's entrance into the game. Is having some control problems. The Bonn players making contact, getting in the deep counts. That one gets away from the pitch, the catcher, ball 4, but didn't run. And Eddie Stommel takes first base on a walk. And we're back at the top of the order here in the 7th inning. 2 runners on base. Eddie Stommel at first. Nick Michelli at second. Batting is Eric Blank. Shortstop is 3 for 4 today. And that curveball, low for a ball. Big lead there by Nick Michelli, but nobody keeping him honest at second. And that pitch, I didn't even think it was worth saying anything, and it was called a strike. So, this is sort of a ongoing discussion at the games. That one, obviously a ball.
I'd say so.
Count 2-1. Again, Nick Michelli with a healthy lead at second base. So Eric Blank waits for the pitch, and that one's inside for ball 3. And this may even be for Roy Vesha, the player coach, where he has to ask himself, can you bring in another pitcher? Is it worth it? Do we let Jorge go? He gets to deal with this mess himself. Count is full to Eric Blank. Runners can run on contact. Eddie Stommel on first. Nick Michelli on second. Payoff pitch comes, and it's a grounder to third base. He goes to second, and they get the force outs, but Eric Blank safe at first, with Nick Michelli making it to third base. And Wilson Lee steps in. Yeah, has a single to his name today, 1 for 4. Two outs now as Jorge Martin watches that one, sends a nice pop fly to the first baseman, and Vicente Velazquez reels it in for the final out of the inning. And 2 runs cross the plate in the bottom half of the 7th. As we enter the 8th inning, it's 9-0 for the Bonn Capitals. This is Caps TV.
Spiel schauen. Ich glaube, wir werden uns von Spiel zu Spiel steigern.
Nächstes Spiel angreifen. Wir haben noch ein Riesenspiel jetzt erstmal wieder am Freitag vor der Brust.
Es ist am Samstag ein Schwellspiel.
Und Sonntag geht's weiter.
Es ist nur ein Spiel.
Was danach kommt, das wird man sehen.
Egal, was danach kommt, wir zeigen es live. Mit allen Spielen der 3. Liga, der Penny DEL und der Easy Credit BBL. Nur bei Magenta Sport.
Ja, ich glaube, wir müssen...
Mia hat zu Hause einen richtig schönen Designboden, der aber auch leider oberflächige Schäden und tiefe Kratzer aufweist. Dr. Schütz hat dafür die Lösung mit Produkten für die Reinigung und Pflege, wie das Designboden-Pflegeset und um tiefe Kratzer zu beseitigen, das Scratch Fix Repair Set. Und damit Mia genau weiß, wie man ihre Böden zu Hause perfekt pflegt und schützt, gibt es unsere Tutorials auf dem Dr. Schütz YouTube-Channel. Für Mia und euch alle. Damit muss sich Mia nicht mehr um ihre Böden sorgen, sondern kann ganz beruhigt unsere Caps anfeuern. Go Caps! Das ist Mia.
Heading into the top half of the 8th inning, it's Wilson Lee. I'd say he's doing a Shohei Ohtani imitation here, huh? Pinch or being a DH and pitching. He takes to the mound to try and close down the Vandellas in the 8th and 9th innings if necessary. Left-handed pitcher. He'll be facing the following hitter, at least according to the current lineup. That would be third baseman Luis Martin, first baseman Giovanni Benetti, and lastly in the hole would be Vicente Velazquez. And stepping to the plate is Luis Martin. It was 1 for 3 today. Had a single back in the 3rd inning. Got all the way to third base, but couldn't make it, or wasn't driven home. And what was the largest threat for Dortmund in this game? Well, Wilson Lee already ahead. 0-1 on Luis Martin. And that one's fouled back. Oh, and 2. And a ground ball to Joe Vitti, who fields it cleanly at third base. Throws to Daniel Lam Hunt for the first out of the inning. 1 out. And that brings Giovanni Benetti, the first baseman, to the plate. And that was one of those slightly dangerous situations for a first baseman. The third baseman, that throw came on the home plate side of first base, and you have to reach and try and get the ball, but it was in the path, his arm in the path of the runner, and that can lead to potential injury if the runner just goes through and runs into the arm. But okay, nothing like that happened there, but it can happen. Try and keep it away from the home side plate, the home plate side of first base when throwing over there. The count's 1-2 now. Giovanni Benetti, the first baseman, and he fouls that one back. Count remains 1-2. New pitcher is Wilson Lee, who's no longer officially the DH. He would simply be the pitcher and staying in that position in the lineup, the batting order. But as he was the last batter in the previous inning, unless Bonn scored a lot of runs in the eighth, he most likely will not be batting again. Count's now a full 3-2. And that one's low, and Benetti comes back to draw a walk. Which brings up Vicente Velazquez, the shortstop. Or does it? Number 2 is Velazquez. So we've got a runner on first base, Benetti. So far today, Vicente Velazquez is 1 for 3. He reached on a single in the first inning. Wilson Lee trying to find the strike zone again. And he doesn't get that one either. Count moves up to 2-0. A very modest lead at first base. No reason to be aggressive over there, particularly with the left-handed pitcher. And Wilson Lee having troubles getting the ball over the plate, really getting close to the right-handed hitters. And there's a strike. Right. As Velazquez was taking on that pitch. Now 3-1. That runner on first base looking for some support to advance, and he gets that support with another walk. Oh, 2 walks in a row issued by Wilson Lee. And Vicente's brother Victor, the right fielder, moves up to the plate. And what's funny is, if you saw those two standing next to each other, I don't know what they look like particularly, but size-wise, Vicente and Victor don't look like they would be the closest of brothers. Victor, look, he is the cleanup hitter, and he has those cleanup hitter dimensions. A big guy. Sure, he can hit the ball out of here. Vicente, a typical shortstop, fairly lean. It's a little bit like Twins. Remember that movie, Twins, with Danny DeVito and Arnold Schwarzenegger? Nay, Max, I knew you wouldn't know that. Do you know who Arnold Schwarzenegger is? Okay, at least you know that.
He knows him because he was governor of California.
Not because he comes from a neighboring country originally. Huh? And there's a very high fly ball, and Joe Wittig is having his problems finding it, but Eric Blank makes it easy for him and comes over with a better angle for the second out of the inning. As Victor goes down, Victor Velazquez, that brings up the catcher Ivan Alba. The runners on first and second again. That's the second time that's happened this game for Dortmund. Getting a runner into scoring position. And Ivan Alba fouls that one back. Careful behind us. The crowd has stayed around pretty much the whole. We've got a good number of people still here. I think the result is fairly evident. But it's a beautiful day here in Bonn. And there's a grounder to Eric Blank, who goes the easy way to Eddie Stommel in second. And that is the end of the top half of the 8th inning. Score is 9-0 Capitals. This is Caps TV. Now that even Alba is back behind the plate as the last out, catcher batting last, gets the last out. You have to put your equipment, your gear back on. Now he's ready, and the Capitals will be sending the following men to the plate in the bottom half of the 8th inning, starting with the catcher, Vinny Islands, followed by Terrell Joyce and then Daniel Lam Hunt in the hole. And it looks like there's going to be a pinch hitter there for Terrell Joyce from the looks of it. What happened to my program? Is that? Uh-huh. Oh. 2 pitches, 2 strikes to Vinny Islands. Jorge Martin looking to make this a fast inning, but that one goes for a ball. 1-2 now the count. And in the on-deck circle is Anthony Klinsing, thank you. And on that strike 3, the ball gets past the catcher, and as slow as he was, Vinny Islands was thinking about heading for second base, but he takes the signal, the strike out, advance to first base. So, nobody out despite a strikeout. So Jorge Martin gets credit for the strikeout, but there's no out on the board because the ball wasn't caught. And then once the runner reaches first base, he gets the base. That's a fairly unusual occurrence, although as a batter, you should always be aware of it, and I think most batters are. That particularly if you swing on a pitch that was not good, that was in the dirt, that it could bounce away, get to the backstop, and Klinsing rips that one down over the third baseman's head for a single. Oh. 1 pitch, 1 hit. Now runners on first and second for the Capitals. And stepping up to the plate is Daniel Lam Hunt. So the sun is going to be an issue now on the left-hand side of the field. The left fielders, shortstops, third baseman are going to have a lot to deal with. They can't say their hands full, their eyes full with sun. There's the cowbell. Nobody out. Daniel Lam Hunt down 0-1 in the count. Fouls that one off for strike 2. Oh, 0-2. Nobody out. Runners on first and second. And there's a pop-up just behind short, and he's having his problems with it. Is he going to get it? Yeah, good play. Very nice play by the shortstop, Velazquez. Looked like a moment he might have misjudged it, didn't know where it was. He wasn't getting any help from his outfielders. So he did it himself, and he did that correctly. Pop-up behind shortstop for the first out of the inning. And Danny Longhorst, the right fielder at bat. He's 0 for 3 with a walk and a run. All right fielder would like to improve his batting statistics. There's a foul ball. Counts now 1-1. Martin gets the sign. Here comes the pitch. Another foul ball. Counts now 1-2. One and two pitch on the way. That one's outside for ball two. Real samba music here, so, huh? Two and two pitch with one out. Runners on first and second for the Capitals, and that ground ball right at the shortstop, and he makes the fielder's choice play to second base. As that was a nice piece of base running by Vinny Islands. He ran right in front of the shortstop as the ball was, and jumped over the ball, and that just enough that the Velazquez bobbled the ball, and all he could get was the fielder's choice at second base for the second out of the inning. Now that runners on the corners for the Capitals with two outs. Joe Wittig, the left-handed hitter, steps up to the plate and takes ball one. So left-handed batters are somewhat of a rarity in the Bundesliga, but if you can be a good left-handed hitter, you'll thrive because you're going to see more right-handed pitchers here. And there's a long fly ball at just in front of the warning track. Hoivesha gathers it in for the final out of the inning. Long fly ball. No runs come across the plate, and after 8 full innings of baseball in the Rheinaue in Bonn, Germany, the score is 9-0 for the Capitals. This is Caps TV. Heading into the top half of the ninth inning with the score 9-0, the Bonn Capitals looking to close this doubleheader sweep, having won the first game 18-3. They're winning 9-0 here. Wilson Lee on the mound, start his second inning of pitching. He'll be facing left fielder Hoivesha, center fielder Dean Kustoff, and the DH, Gason Gomez. Just 3 outs away from the doubleheader sweep. And a good start to the season for the Capitals, who couldn't play last week due to poor field conditions after long and lots of rain in Solingen. So they're just starting this weekend. They'll be making up that doubleheader in Solingen on Thursday, a public holiday here, before they return to Bonn next Sunday. They will be facing the Dortmund Wild Farmers. What do you do as a wild farmer, I wonder? Is it from Wild? Are they farming the Wild? Have you ever been to Dortmund? Where is Dortmund? Near Hamburg. Okay, so it's good that they don't have to drive, the Capitals, but rather Dortmund does. And Boy Vesha goes down swinging, and he ends the day, most likely ends the day 1 for 3. Stepping into the plate will be Dean Kustoff. As center fielder, he's 1 for 3 with 2 strikeouts and a single. Takes the first pitch as a ball. That one's low for ball 2. Wilson Lee just 2 outs away from ending the game. There's a shot to Joe Wittig, who grabs the ball just over third base. What an arm there.
But even to pick up the ball was
Yeah, nice play there by the third baseman / utility player. I think we're just going to start calling everybody in Bonn now a utility player. That's what we've decided on. And a roll of the dice determines which position you'll play that day. Now, with 2 down in here in the top half of the 9th, last batter potentially is Gason Gomez, the DH looking for his first hit of the day with 2 strikeouts and a ground out to first base. He delivers strike 1. That's 1-1 now to Gason Gomez. Gets the sign, the pitch, and a foul ball into behind first base. It's now 1-2. You would think now that the fans might be cheering, might be standing on their feet. The Bonn dugout is on their feet, all the players, and there's strike 3, and that ends the game. With the Capitals behind the pitchers, Sammy Steigert and Wilson Lee beat the Dortmund Wanderers 9-0. What do we need to say as we...
Ja, we are very glad that we are back on the field. Also wir sind sehr froh, dass auch im Norden jetzt und vor allen Dingen hier bei uns in Bonn Baseball wieder angefangen hat. Wir freuen uns natürlich besonders, dass Fans da sind. Und wir bringen euch gleich die volle Ladung, also die nächsten 3 Wochenenden auch hier in Bonn in der Rheinaue Baseball. So there's baseball in the park here for the next 3 weekends. So we will inform you on our website how to get tickets. Wir informieren Sie auf unserer Website. Ihr müsst ja Tickets abbestellen, man kann nicht einfach kommen, das liegt alles an Corona. Und ansonsten würde ich sagen, guter Auftakt. Und
ja, kann man nur dazu sagen. Ja? Also 18:3, 19:0 war wirklich keine, also Dortmund, muss man zugeben, hat gut gespielt, die ersten 4 Innings hier. Also dann fielen die Räder ab im 5. Inning. Aber ja, da läuft, was ist denn das auf dem Platz? Da ist ein kleines Mädel. Läuft da ein Papas Arm?
Ja.
Nehme ich an, das ist Papa.
Leonard Weller's daughters. He has 3 daughters. So.
Aha, ja, da kommt noch ein.
Yeah, okay. I think we are done for today.
Good.
Thank you for watching.
It was a pleasure. We'll see you here on Caps TV in 1 week. This next Sunday, same time, same channel. Max, thanks a lot for all your help. Angela, wonderful working together with you here in the booth. And we're saying goodbye for now. Take care.